Hi everyone, it's Kelly from Kelly's Bead Boutique. So I've been making and teaching how to make jewelry for a very long time. And one of the comments that I always hear is, you make it look so easy. Well, I think it is, and I want to show you just how easy it can be. So I'm going to take some simple parts and some simple techniques and put them together and teach you how to make your very own jewelry. If you want to see what I'm making today, come and join me. So to make our earrings today, we've got about 10 inches of 2mm leather. You don't need quite this much, but we always like to give you a little bit extra in your kit so that you have some flexibility in the sizing. We also have some cord ends to go over top of that, a couple charms, some jump rings, a pair of ear wires, some balled up head pins, 2 4mm fire polish, and some beads that fit over top of the leather. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my leather and match up the ends, and then I'm going to cut that in half. So now I'm going to take one of my head pins and I'm going to place my fire polish bead on top of that. Now I want to do like a messy wrap because I don't want to have a long neck. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to bend it right at the bead, so I don't really have a neck there at all. Now I'm going to take my round nose pliers and place it right on top, and you can see that I have to bring my pliers on a little bit of an angle just so that I can get in there. And I don't need a very big loop on this, so I'm going to go about 1/3 of the way up. So now I'm going to bring this wire up and over and straight down, and I'm going to open my pliers up, rotate them so they're parallel to the table, give that a little squeeze, and pull that straight to the back. And now I like to look at it, and you can see that this is sort of shifted over to the left, so I'm just going to rotate it until it's sort of sitting up top, so it looks a little bit more like a lollipop there. Now I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and go straight over top. Now you can try and do this with your fingers. These are really heavy gauge head pins, but you can sometimes, get it with your fingers if you're strong enough. And what I usually do is sort of start it, and then sometimes I have to switch to my other pliers, but we'll see how far I get on this today. So pull it up and over, and then now I'm going to go back up. So I just did 2 little wraps. I go back up, and that, it's not really a messy wrap per se, but it's more of like a bulky wrap, and I want something that's a little bit different looking. Now I'm going to just trim off the back part, and I always want to make sure that I'm using the flush cutters, or the flush side of the flush cutters I should say. Give that a little trim. You guys always catch me, not my worst, but it's 8 o'clock in the morning and my brain hasn't quite kicked in, so sometimes I'm trying to get my tongue to match up to my brain and it doesn't always work. All right, so now I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to come in and give that a little crimp down, and that just kind of pushes that burr out of the way, and now we have a nice little wrap there. So I had to swap these out because I forgot that I needed a jump ring that was just a little bit larger for the middle section. So I have 2 small ones and 2 a little bit larger. So I'm going to take one of the larger ones, place my chain nose plier on one side and my bent chain nose on the other, and just open it up by twisting this way. You never want to open it that way, it'll break the neck. Now these charms are really great because they have 2 different sides. You can choose the side that you like. I generally choose this side, so that's the one I'm going with today. But when you order your kit, you can do whatever you like with yours. And I'll do the other one. So again, twist open, run it through, and then close it up, and then I kind of jiggle it back and forth to try to get it to lock it right in there. So now we're going to assemble the earrings, and these can't get much simpler than this. So I'm going to take these large hole beads and I'm going to place 3 on. And if you're having trouble getting that in, because sometimes when we cut that it leaves a little bit of a blunt end, you can just trim it off so that it's a little bit of a sharper end, and it should pop in there just a little bit more easily. So I'm going to get 3 of these on there. And then I'm going to place my charm. So the nice thing is that you can make a decision right at the very end. Okay, which side do I want? So today we'll go with that side. And place the last 3 on. And then I'm going to take one of these small jump rings and open that up. So again, place my chain nose pliers on one side, my bent chain nose on the other, and open them up like that. And then I like to find the side that does not have the burr on it. So that's got the burr, so I'm going to flip it over and go with that side. And that's going to go through my other jump ring there. And then it's just going to dangle in the front. It just gives a little bit of an accent. Okay, so now I've got my beads and my embellishment on there. So now I just need to decide how long I actually want to make this. So like I said, I give you lots of leather so that it's a little bit easier to work with and you have some more options. But I think I'm going to start by cutting about 1 inch away, and we'll see if that works. So I just kind of, you know, keep those aside so that you can measure the second pair, or the second part of the pair, I should say. Now these are also two-sided, so you can see that there's different patterns. So if I flip that over, you can see that that one's got a different pattern than that. So you want to make sure when you're putting these on that you decide which pattern that you want. And I usually flip them up so that I'm putting them on the same way. It's very easy to turn them over and not realize. Again, your earrings aren't in the middle of your face, so nobody will notice, but if you're being particular like I like to try to be, make sure that you've got your pattern figured out. So I'm going to pop those on top of there, and then I can just kind of lay it down here and decide if I like that length. And I do really like that length. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my other piece of leather, and I've just sort of got one half made on the side here, but I'm going to just take this leather and I'm going to just kind of measure it before I finish it off. That'll make that a little bit easier for cutting. You sort of have to go backwards a little bit on these earrings. So there we go. I'm just going to cut it right there, and then I know that both of my earrings will be the same size, so I'll come back to that one after. But for now, we're going to just take that, make sure that both of the ends are matching up there. I'm going to take my cord end and place it on top. Now, Tiara Cast does recommend that you use some pliers that have like the nylon jaws inside them, but I find that I don't have to. If you do have a pair of those and you're worried about scratching these, go ahead and use them. But I just find as long as you're using good quality tools that have been honed nicely on the side and don't have any of the serrated edges, then this works nicely. So I just come right on top of it, give it a good squish, and turn it over, and repeat a couple times. I don't want to squish up top here too much because it will change the shape of it, but I just kind of give it some squishes, making sure that that is in there nice and tight. Then I'm going to open up one of my ear wires just on an angle like that, and then I'm going to run it through the end, and there you go. So I'm going to finish up the other one, and then I'll come back and show you the finished product. So there you go, there's our Free Spirit earrings. I'm loving these little leather earrings. I think they're really fun and they're nice and lightweight, which is really important to me because I don't like heavy earrings. So these ones will be customizable. You'll be able to pick your colors, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy them. If you like this video, please make sure to give me a like, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment because I like to hear from everybody. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please make sure that you do so, and ring the bell icon because that will give you a notification when my videos go live. I want to thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.